here's the other thing that you need to think about. You're not eating because you're like, oh yeah, I'm not eating. Where is nutrition coming from? Where are the vitamins and minerals coming from? They're not. Your body is so smart. It wants to survive. It's going to figure out. So it's going to get amino acids from your muscle. It's going to get minerals from your bones. As women, that should scare the crap out of us because now you're looking at osteoporosis, osteopenia, sarcopenia.
Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jenn, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. Hey friend, welcome back to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm Jenn, your host and health coach, here with you every week. If you're new around here, one critic told us we are wellness without the weirdness. So if that's for you, you're in the right place. And I will tell you that this topic for today, I know many of you are concerned about because I hear it from you. I hear it from you, our listeners, on social media, my clients, everywhere I go. Everybody is asking about that midlife weight gain where all of a sudden they're like, I don't even recognize this person in the mirror. And I have to tell you, there's nothing wrong with you, right? We're going to talk about it today. And because I believe wholeheartedly that sometimes we just need to hear things many times, many different ways from many different people, I have a fantastic expert to join us today. Let me introduce you. She's a board-certified geriatric pharmacist, a certified fitness professional, and a certified nutrition coach who's disrupting the diet industry and helping her clients take their health back. Her mission is to empower and equip her clients to take charge of their health and find balance in their lives. Sound familiar, right? We are like the same person. She has over 30 years of experience, specializes in developing individualized health plans that navigate through her clients' individual behaviors, allowing them to be successful in their efforts. She's passionate about helping people prevent and reverse diseases with nutrition and fitness. Through her personal and professional experience, she has seen firsthand how diet and exercise can change a person's life and how the right nutritional program can be the key to improving their health and fitness. She's seen her clients reverse their prediabetes, diabetes, high cholesterol, and more. She's driven to help her clients feel in control of their bodies and their minds while no longer feeling enslaved by the scale. Please help me welcome Amy Wilson.
Hey, Jenn. Thanks for having me. And I'm so stealing that wellness without the weirdness. That is my motto. I love that.
Yes. I wish it's not even mine, right? Shout out to Frank Veerworthy, right? That's how he described salad with a side of fries. And I was like, absolutely, that is us.
Perfect.
Yeah. So we'll start with your story. But before we do that, let me tell our members what they're getting this week. Members, your recipe this week is for caramelized onion and red lentil soup. It is, right? It sounds so good. It's surprisingly easy to make. You can then portion it out to freeze in individual serving sizes so you have easy meals and snacks when you need them. It's also just feels like the right time of year for soup. So if you want this recipe, be sure you're a member. You'll go to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries. For $10 a month, you get weekly recipes, a monthly article or tool, extra discounts from me and our partners, plus access to live Q&A sessions. It is a total deal. When you take advantage of the full offerings, you're going to save far more than that $10 cost. It's seriously a no-brainer way to show yourself that your health is a priority. Plus, being a member supports this podcast and this community so we can continue to bring you new episodes and experts every week. So remember, all you have to do is go to glow.fm/salad with a side of fries. Or actually, don't even remember that. Just click the link in the episode notes because that's easier. You could do it now if you want. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, don't do it now. Okay. Click the link in the show notes. Once you're there, you click support now. Enter your email and payment info. Click subscribe. And you're all set. You'll get this week's recipe for the caramelized onion and red lentil soup. All right, Amy, spotlight on you. Tell us your story and becoming a pharmacist and then making your way into fitness and nutrition, or maybe it was vice versa.
It really, it kind of was, fitness was vice versa. So I had grown up dancing and playing sports. I went to University of Toledo in Toledo, Ohio, go Rockets. And I was not going to gain the freshman 15. that was the whole thing. I had unfortunately started dieting probably 15, 16 years old. And, I'm a girl with legs and butts. Back then, it was very much the skinny, very, very skinny was in. And so I'm not going to gain freshman 15. So I went to a thing called Rocket Aerobics and took these aerobics classes. They saw me. They're like, do you want to become an instructor? And I'm thinking, well, not really, because I'm a pharmacy major and I'm taking 20 some credit hours. And how am I supposed to do this? But then I was like, you know what? I have this job at the library that I absolutely hate, and I can get paid to work out. Okay. So FYI, you don't do that if you're an instructor. But back in the day, that was the thing, is like, I'm young. I'm like, hey, I get paid to work out. How cool is that? So I became an aerobics instructor back in the 80s. And went through pharmacy school, finished pharmacy school, kept teaching. But unfortunately, I developed what's called an exercise addiction without really knowing about it. This is when we were doing the low fat craze, and you would just eat whatever as long as it had no fat. But we were still gaining weight like crazy, and we couldn't figure it out because we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're supposed to be doing low fat. So I would try to outwork out a bad diet. Didn't work. So 29, I blew my back out. And went to the surgeon after I had my MRI, and he's like, you're an exercise addict. And I'm like, what? First time I'd ever even heard something called an exercise addict. Here I'm thinking I'm being healthy, and, okay, so I'm an exercise addict. So what? I'm not addicted to cigarettes, alcohol, drugs.
Right.
How bad is this? He's like, you don't understand what you're doing to your body. Okay, I'm 29. Fix me.
Right.
Fix me. I'm invincible. You just fix me and get on my way and fine. So that's what happened. He fixed me, and I'm like, okay, well, I just have to keep my back healthy and keep my weight healthy. That was the whole thing, is that you can't gain weight. You have to keep a certain weight so that you don't put pressure on your back and make sure your core is stable. Okay, fine. So it did not really teach me a lesson, because I was still trying to do cardio all the time. I was trying to use that as my diet. I'm a pharmacist. I'm a fitness instructor. What do people do when you're a pharmacist and a fitness instructor? They ask you questions, and they ask you questions about nutrition, about supplements, about how they can lose weight. And so I'm like, okay, I need more education. I started getting all these certifications for nutrition, became nutrition coach with other things. The problem is we were still in the calories in versus calories out.
Yeah.
It wasn't nutrition. It really wasn't. It's like, okay, eat this. And hey, as long as it's less than, wait for it, 1,200 calories, you'll be fine, right?
I knew what was coming.
Right?
I know. Oh.
And all these belief systems that we still believe today. The last 5 or 6 years, we have come so far with nutrition. We're finally figuring it out. And, I was in videos. I was a master trainer for fitness programs where I taught other instructors how to teach. I still did nutrition coaching. It still wasn't working. And it was only working for like these 6-week bouts. It would work. And then, unfortunately, my clients would slip backwards. And I felt like a failure because I couldn't keep it off. My clients couldn't keep it off. And then, hello, perimenopause. Really?
Yep.
Really? Thanks so much, guys. I'm so excited the fact that nothing's working anymore. I didn't recognize myself in the mirror. My hips, I'm already got butt and legs, and my hips kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was always one of those people that I was like, I had abs. It's the one thing I had was a 6-pack without really trying. And don't hate you guys for that, because butt legs were there. And all of a sudden I called it Buddha. I had, what's going on? Where is this stuff coming from? I've never had this issue. And not only that, I felt like crap. It's headaches, joint pain. And I'm like, okay, this must be menopause. What do I have to do? Is this the way life is going to be? Is this what I just have to resign myself? And
I feel like it's like every day you wake up and you're like, well, what is it today?
Right.
Because yesterday it was the right foot. Today it's the left knee.
Yeah.
Like, who knows?
And then, okay, really, I can't sleep, because I always was someone who could hit the pillow and be like, out. And nothing was making sense. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with getting bigger, feeling horrible. Something's got to give. And I watched some friends do a different program that was called Faster Way to Fat Loss. And I'm like, okay, they're looking good, not only looking good, but they're feeling good. All right, I need to figure this out for me. I need to become a client again. I need to figure out. And it was when I started becoming a client, and then here was the kicker, started putting science. We've had the answers all the freaking long. We just chose to ignore them. and understand that there's chemistry involved in this. There's biology involved in this. When I started going, I'm a freaking pharmacist. Science is my jam. Why was I listening to all these influencers or fads when we've had the answers all along? We just needed to figure out. So I did it. And all of a sudden I'm losing inches and I'm feeling better. And I'm like, wait a minute. The brain fog's gone. I can put my rings on again. The bloating's gone. All right, here we go. And it's not a diet. It's about health. It's not about chasing skinny anymore. It's about getting stronger. And there's something clicked in my head and the behavior started changing. And I'm like, you know what? If I have this problem as an instructor, I know my fellow instructors are having this problem. If I'm having this problem with menopause and perimenopause, I know there's other women out there. I need to help them. And then here was the kicker. I'm a board certified geriatric pharmacist, and the people coming in my nursing homes are younger and younger and younger. They're my age and younger. Okay, no, that's not right. And a lot of it is lifestyle diseases. It's diabetes, strokes, heart disease in young people that can no longer take care of themselves. That's scary. So I'm like, okay, not only am I on a mission to help fitness instructors and midlife women, I'm on a mission to keep you out of my freaking nursing homes, because that's not living. And by chasing skinny, by doing the latest fads, that's exactly what we're doing, is putting ourselves at risk. So that's the long, short story. I like to say it's a triple effect. I'm a pharmacist, I am a nutrition coach, and a fitness professional. You're getting the triple whammy. And then I coach virtually. Yeah. So, you can be anywhere.
Exactly. We're all over.
Yeah, we're all over. Yeah. There's no excuse anymore.
Exactly. And I want to come back to like the skinny versus healthy thing in a second. Yeah. But I feel like we kind of said, right? You felt this way looking in the mirror. And I think people sit here and go, what is wrong with me? Mm-hmm. Right? That this midlife menopausal weight gain happens and it's so common, but yet we all sit there going, what am I messing up? Right? Mm-hmm. So let's start maybe with like how this is sort of like the perfect storm and what is all going into creating the scenario of the experience that we all identify.
Okay, sit back, relax, and don't hate me for this. This is what's happened. We have accidentally, not on purpose, caused our issues.
Yes.
And how we have done that is what we started doing when we were 16. And that was dieting. That was the fad diets, starving ourselves to get in the prom dress, to get to the wedding, to be the bridesmaid or the best, or now it's high school reunions or another wedding or an event. And we do all these fad diets. Well, every time we did that fad diet, I don't care what anybody says, you did not lose body fat. You might have lost a little bit, but every single time you did that, you lost muscle. Our metabolisms really don't slow down in life. They have shown the studies, there's a study that came out about a year ago that shows that our metabolisms pretty much stay the same until we're about 60, 65. However, what we have done to ourselves has slowed our metabolism down. Now you bring in hormones in the factor, decrease estrogen, decrease testosterone. Okay, so now we compound the effect of what we were going to go through in the first place. So yes, will there be a little bit of weight gain? Yes. Will be there a little bit of fat distribution in different areas? Yes. But we compounded that by dieting, by slowing down our metabolism. And then what do? We go back to all the things that our belief systems. And guys, I'm not getting on my soapbox and yelling at you. This is me too. This happened to me personally. And so I get this, and I get this with all my clients. And the belief system that we have are so ingrained in us that we keep thinking that, oh my God, I'm eating too much. I got to go do another class, or I got to go run. I got to do more cardio. And that calories in versus calories out is what is hurting us so much in perimenopause. And that starts around 35, just FYI, and menopause. And then beyond that too, that whole system of calories versus calories out, we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of the belief system that's 1,200 calories. We got to, honestly, I hate calories in the first place. Get rid of that kind of stuff, because that's not serving us. And that has what set us up to have these issues with menopause. And unfortunately, we didn't know any better. And we saw our moms do the same thing. We saw, I mean, I don't know about you, I saw my mom diet all the time and nothing ever worked. And, you know, the downward spiral of losing weight and then gaining it back. And we didn't stop the cycle. And I'm so want to stop this cycle now because I'm still seeing it in millennials, Gen Z. We're still seeing this starvation thing. And it's
right.
Just heartbreaking.
Oh, and you said it before, right? Calories in, calories out is not nutrition.
No.
The body functions off of, going back to, you know, like our Nutrition 101 episode from this year, like the body functions off of nutrients, right? Like if those calories are devoid of nutrients, we're going to have problems, which actually leads us to, you also mentioned this, that people coming into your nursing homes are younger and younger. We're having these diseases of age at really young ages, right? So will you talk through the connection between blood sugar and aging and like how we're creating this sort of accelerated aging in the body?
So, and this is where it really depends, or I would say it's calories in versus calories out, and seeing the quality of food that is causing the issues. Because it drives me nuts. I'm in this Facebook group with all these personal trainers and they keep saying calorie deficit. You have to have a calorie deficit. And they don't talk about quality of food at all. And they showed...
I got into it similar to that during the pandemic when Clubhouse was like all over. I was in this group and I was pretty much the only nutrition person. Everybody else was trainers and they were answering all these people's questions with, you know, calorie deficit. And I was like, I'm sorry, I need to chime in. We need to rephrase this. Like, it's not calories in, calories out. It's quality in, quality out, because I don't really care. 100 calories of M&Ms versus 100 calories of a cucumber.
Totally different.
Are going to be different.
Totally different. And this was...
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Because this is the problem, is that this person, they had a picture of 2 Nutri-Grain bars for breakfast, pizza with iceberg lettuce for lunch, and it was some takeout at dinner time. And like, well, she's under 1,200 calories, so I don't understand why she keeps gaining weight. And okay, so let's talk about sugar. So here's what's happening. 2 Nutri-Grain bars is nothing but pure sugar. I don't care what it says. Yes, it might say healthy, but Vita's another one that drives me nuts, that they say healthy, but they really aren't. They are ultra-processed healthy foods, meaning that they're added chemicals, added sugar, added colors. And yes, it might be low calorie, but it's not high in nutrition. So every time that you add these simple carbohydrates, things that are, to be blunt, they're already digested for you. There's no fiber, there's nothing. They go right into your bloodstream. So every single time what you're doing is you are peaking your blood sugar. Insulin is a great hormone. There's a reason why we have insulin. The problem that insulin gets to be the devil is because of the amount of sugar that we intake, the amount of simple carbohydrates. A banana's not bad, an apple's not bad. It's the other stuff that we are eating that is causing these high peaks of blood sugar. What we want is we want this little kind of like wave. We go up, we go down, we go up, and we go down. What we're causing is this massive roller coaster. We go up and drop down, up and drop down. And every time that we do that, we are increasing chronic inflammation. And what I tell people is like what chronic inflammation is, how I like to think about acute versus chronic. Acute, a mosquito, it bites you. Okay, acute, right? Pain, yes. You get this little welt, it gets hot. The body's like, hey, okay, we need to do something about this and we need to heal this. So let's send our IgE, let's send all the troops out, and we are going to get rid of this and we're going to heal. And then we're going to call all the troops back because we're done. The problem with ultra-processed foods, the Nutri-Grain bars, the fast food, and if you're doing that all the time, it's like tons of mosquito bites several times a day. Your body never has a chance to call back the troops. And now we're getting this increase in chronic inflammation. And every time that you have an increase in chronic inflammation, now we're looking at increase in visceral fat, which is the fat that surrounds your organs. We're seeing increase in brain fog. It also is affecting your gut microbiome. And so we know that chronic inflammation is the common denominator for hypertension, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, that is a very possible correlation with dementia and Alzheimer's, some cancers. So there's all this common denominator in the foods that we eat and the chronic inflammation and the lifestyle diseases that we are causing. And if you think about it, I don't give my age, I'm 53. Back in the 70s and the 80s, there wasn't fast food on every corner. Now, my parents weren't great cooks, but they cooked. And we sat down and ate dinner. There wasn't we're just going to go pick up food or do DoorDash or Uber Eats or pick up something at the corner. And if we went to McDonald's or something like that, it was actually a treat. It wasn't the normal for every single day. Fast forward, we get the 80s, and now we have low-fat craze, and we have fast food on every single corner. We have TV dinners. We have healthy, in quotation marks, frozen foods. So what we have done with our food is we've made it highly processed, and now we're causing those issues. And you think about those of us who started growing up, our teenage years in the 80s, in the 90s, 2000s, that's norm. So where we didn't see these aging diseases before is because they were eating real food. We may have saw some heart disease in the 70s, was why we freaked out about everything had to go low fat. We went the opposite and added sugar to everything. So sugar is an inflammatory, and lots of sugar causes chronic inflammation. So that's why we're seeing all these diseases, and especially colon cancer in younger and younger people. And that's scary. You shouldn't have a lot of these diseases. You shouldn't have type 2 diabetes before you're 25. You shouldn't have heart disease when you're 25. You shouldn't have these diseases that we are causing by the food we eat.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, there's so many pieces to this, right? So you were talking about the colon cancer and, the processed food. We have a nutrition nugget on ultra processed foods. We did an episode called America's Fiber Problem. Go back and that one. We have an episode from way back in the beginning of the show called GMO, Organic and Local, Oh My, which is all about the quality of the food. So even like you were saying in the grocery store, like your parents maybe weren't great cooks, but they cooked. What was available in the grocery store today is very different, even in the fresh produce. It's quote unquote fresh. It looks fresh, but it's been on a truck for a week, or in an airplane or whatever. But all of this, right? The inflammation is, right? The highly processed foods, the blood sugar spikes, the inflammation, it's all stress on the body. And that actually reminds me too of, like, we didn't necessarily talk about this, and one of the factors of creating this midlife perfect storm, but stress, right? Take a second, talk a little bit about, the role of stress in all of this too.
Okay, so stress equals cortisol, which equals muffin top. Just going to tell you that right now. And here's the problem is, and I'm going to say mindset with that too, because it's the perfect storm. Nothing's working. I don't like what I see in the mirror. Everything brings me to tears. I can't go to my closet. Okay, so I'm going to work out more and eat less. Okay, we got the trifecta of stress. We have the stress of the mental anguish that's going on right now, that nothing's working. We have the stress of not eating. That's causing a lot of stress. That's actually working with our ghrelin and leptin hormones. That's not in a good way, not in a good way. And now we have a stress of overworking out without any nutrition. So you are increasing cortisol with all three of those. Cortisol is an amazing hormone. We need cortisol in small amounts. Cortisol is a huge hog too. If you think about, we have this bucket and we have a certain amount of things that are called precursors, of things that build hormones. So everything comes out of this bucket. Well, if you're putting all your bucket is 90% cortisol, it's hogging everything else. We need other hormones to be working and have cortisol kind of dampen. But when you're stressed and you're working out and you're under eating, you're not giving yourself a chance to decrease anything. And then also you're also causing more chronic inflammation with that cortisol. And so I know it sounds woo-woo. I don't want the weirdness, but the woo-woo is that we really have to look at not only our nutrition, but our belief system and our behaviors. Because Jen and I can sit here all day and tell you what to eat and be like, oh, you're supposed to, don't eat ultra processed foods and eat this and make sure you have this enough protein. But if you still believe that eating's going to make you fat, if you still believe that food is the enemy, we can't do anything to help you. And that is causing you stress. So it's understanding and being like, okay, I always tell my clients, if what was working before, you wouldn't be here. Obviously, it's not working. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over again and over again and over again, expecting different results. So undereating wasn't working. Dieting wasn't working. Hours on the elliptical, Stairmaster, running's not working. Isn't it time to kind of like take care of your body, start focusing on health instead? And that will, one, hello gut microbiome. Guess what that does? When you start eating real food and your gut microbiome is in check and you're starting to get your fiber, by the way, I hope you said 25 grams per day, minimum. Most of my clients come in 8 a day. It's very eye-opening when they realize they're not getting fiber and they were like, oh, can I just take Menopausal? Oh. So when you start fueling your body with what it needs and your body's chemical reactions, because guess what, guys? We are one big chemical reaction. When you can start having all these things working, all of a sudden the headaches go. The bloating goes. Your thyroid thanks you because your thyroid needs carbs, by the way. And the inflammation that you had around your midsection starts to go. Now, will you get that 6-pack? Depends on your genetics. Will you get skinny? I hope not, because skinny is not healthy. What we're looking at is, are you strong? Are you able to lift things? Are you decreasing your blood pressure? Are you getting healthy from the inside out? That's what's more important.
Okay, so this is perfect because speaking of, right, we're focusing on healthy and strong versus skinny and versus living on a roller coaster and that stress, right? All of this to say you're not doomed at all. We're going to talk about how you can repair and prevent this whole scenario and experience really quick. We'll highlight our partner for this episode, and then we'll come back with all that goodness of what you're recommending for everybody. Cool. Big thanks to Layered Jewelry for supporting Salad with a Side of Fries. The modern woman is multifaceted, taking on many important roles in the various aspects of her life. Inspired by her own multi-layered life as a busy mom, trendsetter, entrepreneur, and influencer, Emma Rydinger McLaughlin set out to create a line of luxury jewelry that lets women create their unique style and celebrate their own beautiful layers. Layered is luxurious and affordable, the perfect combination for the modern woman. Layered allows you to mix, match, stack, and layer pieces that make you feel empowered and beautiful. Each piece is handcrafted to be unique and exquisite just for you. So if you're listening to this the day it goes live, it's Valentine's Day. So maybe you want to treat yourself, a little love for yourself with a little jewelry. Or maybe you need a gift, maybe not for Valentine's Day, it's a little late, but maybe otherwise you need a gift. I highly recommend Layered. There are tons of options and there's such a range, not just in the style and design of the pieces, but also in the pricing. So you'll find something that resonates with you. Like the Winnie stackable rings is a set of 3 rings for $46.95. Their latest collection is called the Iconic Collection. And there's a necklace with charms. It comes with all these charms. So they say, I am, believe, essential, faith, love, and present. So you get all 6 charms plus the gold chain with a freshwater pearl, all of that for $175.95. I feel like QVC right now, but I highly recommend Layered. Every time I wear their pieces, I get compliments. People ask me where it's from. So by the way, all of these prices are before your 10% off and free shipping for being a Salad with a Side of Fries listener. So simply text the word Layered, Layered, to 844-947-4846. You'll receive the link and coupon code right to your phone. Again, simply text the word Layered, Layered, to 844-947-4846 to get this handcrafted, luxurious, yet affordable jewelry at 10% off and free shipping. This is a toll-free number. Standard text and data rates may apply. Okay, Amy. So, like we said, healthy and strong over skinny, right? Skinny doesn't equal healthy. 3 big things for repair and prevent. You've talked about eat real food. Mm-hmm. You've talked about pick up weights.
Yeah.
And sleep.
Yes.
So let's take each one. You tell us which one to start with.
Well, let's just go eat real food. Okay. So what do you need? And you're going to say, well, how many calories do I need per day? Well, it depends. And let's not go by calories. Let's go by protein. Let's go by fat. Let's go by complex carbohydrates. And yeah, simple can be in there every once in a while too. I want you to think protein, fats, and carbohydrates for each meal. And I want you to focus on protein because we do a really good job about building our meals around carbohydrates. We really do. Especially midlife, we need protein. As we age, we don't break down protein as well. And then most people don't even get enough protein. That's when my clients start tracking. And before you're like, oh my God, I'm not tracking, and I'm like, well, and my question is why? Oh, because I feel like I'm dieting. Here's the deal. You're not eating enough. I track because if I don't track, I don't eat enough. And that may sound really weird. But when you're not eating enough, your body's going, guess what? I'm holding on to your fat. I'm not letting it go. And by the way, I'm going to bring on more. And that is so hard to think about that. Wait, I got to eat more to lose fat? Yes, you do. And when you are under eating, you are increasing your fat reserves. Well, that's not what people told me. That's not what the media tells me. That's not blah, blah, blah. I know. That's why we have a $3 billion diet industry, because you keep giving money to these people who know that they're setting you up for failure. And then guess what? It's your fault. It's your fault. And so, hey, but it was your fault. So come back to us and maybe you'll figure it out this time. No, it's because you were starving yourself. So when we start eating real food, we start focusing on protein, and they'll be like, well, can I just have a shake? Can I just have a bar? Okay, well, we can bring those in, but most bars are glorified candy bars that are not healthy. So that's another good reason to work with somebody like Jenn or myself, so that you are getting information, you're getting education. You find out how much protein you need for your individual self, how much fat you need, how much carbohydrates. Because once again, I could tell you what I eat. I mean, I love that on Instagram. Here's what I eat in a day. And I've done that before. But really, you're not going to eat what I eat. What if you don't like salmon? I love salmon. I love eggs. Maybe you don't. I'm a peanut butter, nut butter freak. You may not.
We really are the same person.
Are we? This is
wild.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're BFFs.
Yeah.
So it's like, you may not like it. So I have to work with you to see what's going to work with your lifestyle. You may be totally under protein and you have no clue on how to get where you need to go. And that's okay. And what I want people to understand is that you start today. There is no end date. I
Right.
love it when people said, okay, Amy, I'm fine. I don't need to work with you anymore. I got it. I'm going to go on my own. Okay, fly, birdie, fly. If you need me, I'm here. But you're not stopping at 6 weeks or 10 days or 21 days. This is a lifelong journey of now getting healthier and stronger. And it's going to start with building a foundation of learning how to eat real food. And that's also navigating birthday parties and a crappy day at work. And your go-to is Ben & Jerry's if you are having hormonal issues or stress. And it's working on those behaviors, because I also do behaviors. I'm a behavior specialist. It's also working on those behaviors because we need to learn how to navigate life, not with food. We need to enjoy food. That's a great part of our experience, but it's not our drug to go to for anxiety and depression.
100%. So real food, right? Quality real food with nutrients, right? Okay. Next one is pick up weights.
Absolutely. So, hey, my name's Amy K. Wilson. I am a freaking cardio bunny junkie, exercise addict right here. I get it. I love teaching my kickboxing class. I love doing that kind of thing, but it wasn't serving me. And when I actually had to give up teaching during COVID because all the gyms were shut down, and I had to do my program has 30-minute workouts a day, and I was doing those, and it's all based upon lifting. I got results, and it was like, what?
Right?
What? Seriously, I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not teaching my 10 to 15 classes a week. What am I going to do? I'm going to gain weight. I'm not moving that much. And, I had to understand that things weren't working, but I still had that belief system that I had to do this much working out. And it was 30 minutes a day, focusing on weight training and just moving my body like a normal walk or something like that. And freaking magic happened. I lost 7 inches in my hips in 1 month. It was crazy. Now, was that the first 6 weeks? No, it was around month 5 or 6. And we can talk about that and why that happened. But I stayed consistent. And my body was like, hey, she's eating real food. She's not killing us with cardio all the time now. And now she's building muscle that's helping her metabolism. And my body was finally like, you know what, girlfriend, you're taking care of me. Let me take care of you. And it was magic. And that was 4 years ago.
Yeah. And going back to even the thing of, we were talking about with stress before, right? Like hit workouts all the time.
Not your friend.
It's increasing. Yeah.
Not your friend. And I get it because, I see it. Well, I just joined this boutique XYZ. I need to get my money's worth. Okay, but you're not doing your body any favors. So I totally get that. I understand it, but you're not going to get the results that you want.
Yeah.
So number 3.
Lifting weights. And then number 3, sleep.
Oh, we wear the not getting sleep with a badge of honor. I can function on 4 hours of sleep. I can function. I mean, I hear it all the time. I don't need sleep, or the kids or my spouse or this. And, I tell all my clients that my hours are 8 a.m., 8 p.m. My phone goes on do not disturb. Feel free to text me, but you're not going to get anything back until the next morning. There's a reason why your phone has do not disturb, is so that you don't pick it up, so that you are able to get quality sleep. You need anywhere between 7 and 9 hours of quality sleep, because here's what happens when you don't sleep. You ever notice that you're hangry? Ever notice that you want sugar all the time? Well, guess what? Cortisol and glucose kind of like do the same thing. They're kind of synergistic. So when cortisol goes up, so does blood sugar. And then when your blood sugar's up, you want more sugar. And that's not what you want. And also, when you're not getting enough sleep, you're increasing insulin resistance, you're decreasing insulin sensitivity. The whole ghrelin leptin thing gets all screwed up again. And now we're increasing cortisol, we're increasing blood sugar, and now we're increasing inflammation. Okay, all you have to do is go to bed. I mean, it's the simplest thing in the world, but we do make it hard. It's like, oh, but I don't need to get to sleep, or I can't get to sleep because this is going on. There's something called sleep hygiene, or if you want to say sleep habit. You go to bed the same time every night. You wake up the same time every day. And that means every day, including Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not just Monday through Thursday. Because what you want to do is get into that routine. Just like if you have a little kid, you want that child to go to bed the same time every night. You read a story, you had bath time, read a story. You do the same thing. It might be I take a shower, wash my face, read a chapter of a book, put the phone down to get rid of the blue light because that messes up with your brain and your melatonin, your circadian rhythm. Do everything possible to make sure that you can start going to sleep, winding down. Like my watch tells me it's wind down time. I get a little thing. It's like, it's bedtime. It's time to start winding down. There's a reason why all these apps and all these fitness gadgets are really focusing on sleep, because they know that's a key indicator. So sleep, 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 sleep.
Absolutely. And then, right, eat real food, pick up weights, sleep turns into a different perfect storm that can reverse the inflammation, that can help support energy and health and reduce body fat percentage and all of those kinds of things.
Just sleep has been shown to decrease your chance of diabetes, decrease heart disease, and decrease Alzheimer's. Just getting enough sleep. That is huge. That's how much sleep is needed, whether you're a child or an adult. And for some reason, we think as an adult, we don't need sleep. We absolutely do need sleep.
So final thing, because you are a geriatric pharmacist, and I would be remiss if I had you here and we didn't talk about the use of pharmaceuticals in this midlife weight gain situation. You and I have had separate conversations about some of this, but I've talked about it on a few episodes. But I'd love for you, from your perspective, given your background and the triple threat of, your expertise.
So let me say I'm a pharmacist who prefers you're not on medication, because I think, honestly, we can prevent. I understand. I'm a female who went after every shiny object too. I tried keto. Yeah, for a hot minute, it didn't work. I tried this shake. We all want that quick fix. We all want to lose weight without having to think about it. We want it because we don't want to think about it. So what we're talking about is the GLP-1s, glucagon-like peptide 1, which is Wegovy, Ozempic, Mounjaro. There's going to be a bunch that are going to be coming out more and more. This is the cash cow for the pharmaceutical industry. It really is. This is saving them. Another topic for a different conversation later.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, but to your point, right? Like the pharmaceutical industry hasn't had a blockbuster.
Since Viagra.
It's like the last Viagra, but also I feel like all the pain stuff. Where's my brain?
Oh, OxyContin and everything else.
Thank you.
Yes.
Right? Like
Yeah.
like we got some history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're hook, line, and sinker with it. Oh, it can help me lose weight. Let me do it. Okay, so here's what I want to understand. If you are on one of these, okay, I get it. I understand. I'm not beating you up for it. I'm going to tell you if you're on one what you need to do. If you're thinking about it, I'm going to tell you all the things that you need to think about. We always think that the side effects aren't going to happen to us. It's not. You have to understand that side effects can happen to anybody. You never know, and you can't predict it. So what happens with the GLP-1s? How do they work? It is a hormone that is found in your stomach. It is a great, great, great discovery. It really is that we understand that we have this hormone called GLP-1 that's in our stomach and how it works. By adding a GLP-1, it will slow down your digestion, which makes you not hungry. And before you go, yes, right, that's my problem. I'm always hungry. You can biohack that with food to stop that problem. And more than likely, you're not eating enough. And that's why you're starving, and you're not eating enough protein. And that's why you're starving too. So it slows down digestion so you're not hungry. Okay, but the problem is that it can slow down digestion so much that digestion stops. And it's something called gastroparesis. That's not reversible. Now you're looking at a chronic condition that will consume your life for the rest of your life. That is not living, that is causing you to have issues all the time. You're not going to be able to eat. You're going to feel nauseous continuously. And more than likely, you may have to have surgery to put in a stimulator to get things going and to keep things going. It's not pretty. The other problem is, remember we were talking about undereating, and what undereating does is that undereating causes you to lose muscle mass. These have already been shown that they, for the majority of it, do not burn fat, that it's muscle that it takes away from. So when people say Ozempic face and Ozempic butt, it's not the fat that they lost out of there. Because everyone's like, oh yeah, you have fat in your face, so you have fat in your butt. That's why you're getting a flat butt and you're getting, your face looks bad. No. We have muscle in our face. We have muscle in our tushy. That's what gives it the roundness. That's what gives it the shape. When you lose the muscle, that's why it's flat. That's why you're not getting the shape. That's why you're losing and looking old in your face, because you don't have that muscle. So that's going to slow your metabolism down. That's why when you stop Ozempic, Mounjaro, or Wegovy, that you actually will gain weight faster because your metabolism slowed down and you have no muscle. Here's the other thing that you need to think about. You're not eating because you're like, oh yeah, I'm not eating. Where is nutrition coming from? Where are the vitamins and minerals coming from? They're not. Your body is so smart. It wants to survive. It's going to figure out. So it's going to get amino acids from your muscle. It's going to get minerals from your bones. As women, that should scare the crap out of us, because now you're looking at osteoporosis, osteopenia, sarcopenia. So what I am saying is that we're going to see old lady disease in 35, 45, 50-year-olds. And that's not something that you want. We're going to see what's called frailty. When you think about someone who's frail, they look like the wind's going to blow them over, that their bones are going to crack, that they're shuffling. There's no life to them. They're just brittle and they're delicate. That's what we're going to start seeing in the next 5 years. And then what we're also going to see is all the medications that are going to be out for the side effects of this medication, because they are already trying to develop something to keep muscle mass, so that you're on this medication and then you're taking something else for muscle mass. And then you take something else for the nausea. And then you take something else for the constipation. So now you're just one big pharmaceutical. How is that living? How is that living? And then when you have no energy, when you can't do anything and live, but you're so scared to get off that medication because you're so scared that you're going to gain the weight back because you think skinny is healthy, that's psychological dependence. So not only are we looking at muscle waste, we're looking at osteoporosis, osteopenia. Now we're looking at a psychological dependence and what's called polypharmacy, being on all these different medications. Yes, it's slow. And it's painstakingly slow to build muscle and to learn how to eat and to learn to deal with our feelings and to learn to deal with all these belief systems to get strong and healthy and not skinny, because that's not healthy. It's painfully slow, but it's also, there's no side effects. The side effects are good. The side effects are, I can live. The side effects are energy, vitality, right? Longevity. That's what's important. And we have to quit thinking that skinny equals healthy, because it doesn't, or thinking skinny is going to make us happy. Because if you're not happy now, getting to your whatever weight you think you need to be at is not going to open up the doors and make everything all better. It's not. You have to be happy with who you are now. And then the other thing, people say, well, I've tried everything. You've tried every fad diet out there to lose weight. How about we start focusing on nutrition, health, and building muscle, and let's see what happens.
Mic drop. I love it. And I think that's where we'll put a pin in it for today. There's so much more on this available to everybody. We can keep digging deeper. You know, like we said, this is 7 different ways from 7 different people for us to really, get it and let it sink in. So I hope you're hearing something today, or it's hitting you a little differently. And so I think that brings us to our rapid fire off topic questions.
Woo-hoo.
Are you ready?
I am ready. I love these.
Okay. All right. What's the best thing you've done for your health this week? What's the naughtiest thing you've done related to your health this week?
The best thing is actually, because it's so bad outside right now, I actually got on the treadmill and walked. I moved my body. That was the best thing. The naughtiest thing I've done this week, I love chocolate. I really do. Dark chocolate's mine. And I had a little too much dark chocolate, but that's okay. It's all good. It's all balance, but it's my thing. So
I don't blame you. All right. If you weren't a pharmacist and health and fitness coach, what would you do?
My dream was to be a Broadway dancer, but I'm 5'5".
Totally. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a rockhead.
Yeah.
And now I work out with them instead of, being one of them. All right. Your favorite book on any topic other than your area of expertise, or you could give us a fiction book.
Okay. I love Lucy Score books. All of them are kind of like, it's that chick kind of mystery books, that kind of thing. And then, I guess it's kind of Atomic Habits is another one that's kind of like in the habit realm. I love that book.
If you could cure one ailment, disease, or sickness, what would it be?
Alzheimer's.
If you were a superhero, what would be your superpower?
Oh, I always wanted to be telepathic. I thought that would be the coolest thing, is to be telepathic.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Negative Nellies.
I get
Debbie
it.
Downers. Everything sucks. That's my biggest pet peeve.
All right, last one. In your opinion, what's the next frontier in wellness?
Ooh, wow. I am really hoping that there will be an about face, and that we really get into the health kick and quit getting into the skinny kick. I'm afraid we're going to see a big blow up with the Ozempic and Wegovy. It's going to have some serious ramifications. We're going to start seeing the commercials. Did you take Ozempic or Wegovy? Did you have these side effects? Call 1-800 blah, 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 blah. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more class action lawsuits. I think we're going to see a lot more people in hospitals and bone breaks. And I think we're going to see a backlash. What I'm hoping is that it doesn't go into a obesity epidemic, that people are just like, oh, I'm just not going to do anything. What I'm hoping is that it goes into a health epidemic, meaning that we're going to really start focusing on preventative health care in this country.
I hope so too. Yeah. All right. Well, Amy, thank you for being here. Tell everybody how to connect with you, where to learn more, all the things.
Awesome. So there's 2 places. You can go to my website, amykwilson.com. That's AMYKWILSON.com. Or Instagram at the Nutrition Coach Pharmacist. That's what I go by, the Nutrition Coach Pharmacist. And I would love to give anybody a call, a 5-day fat loss blueprint that has a lot of recipes, because I know we all want recipes, and has 2 of my favorite ones that I give to my paying clients. And one is a chili recipe that you can make in the Instapot, and it tastes just like Wendy's, and it's so healthy. And all you have to do is either message me on my website or on Instagram at the Nutrition Coach Pharmacist and tell me salad with a side of fries, and I will send that to you.
Awesome. Well, thank you again. Just truly appreciate your energy, your expertise, and, being here with us. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. It is Nutrition Nugget o'clock. So on Friday, friends, we're talking about anchors. And no, I don't mean something that will weigh you down. It's not like the boat anchor that like keeps the boat from, flying away. Actually, these anchors are kind of the opposite, right? Anchors can actually be a tool of change. So whether you want to change a behavior or even change a mood, you can use anchors. So tune in on Friday to learn more about anchors. Be sure wherever you're listening, click the plus sign or the follow button, and then your app will alert you on Friday morning when the nutrition nugget is there for you. Well, as always, everybody, I'm your host, Jenn Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or all social media. I am at Jenn Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideofries.com. Please send a message. I love hearing from you, your takeaways, your ideas, your questions. This is also the easiest way to learn more about working with me as your health coach. Amy Wilson, thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Awesome. And friend, if you are not already, join our membership by going to glow.fm/saladwithasideofries to show your support for this podcast, this community, and most importantly, support your health. You'll get this week's recipe for the caramelized onion and red lentil soup. So until next week, remember, if it feels like you're doing everything and your body's not responding, just pause and consider if your stress, inflammation, or insulin resistance might be that roadblock, because we've got you covered. You're not doomed. Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.